At Utopia, we believe that knowledge is power. My name's Sue Robertson. I am here to empower you through knowledge and motivation, and I'm not a professor. Let's get to learning. And in today's video, we are learning about the strength of weak ties. To be more exact, we are learning about the economic social relations theories of Mark Granovetter in relations to the strength of weak ties and strong ties, and how his theory and research can apply to your own job search or your own search in an employee, and really just the practical sides of this theory. This is something that falls under economic sociology, and we have done sociology before, but this is the first time we're doing economic sociology specifically. Now, this theory is something that applies to both employees and employers. And it basically goes into how positions are filled, how you as a worker find a job, or how you as an employer find someone to fill a position, and how you find out about a job, who recommends you to a job, and so on and so forth. So first of all, I have to explain what are weak ties and what are strong ties. A tie is basically a connection you have to anyone in your life, whether it's someone you say hi to at school or whether it's your mom. So it's between actors in society. And the strength of the tie depends on how often you see that person, what you talk with that person about, and basically your emotional intimacy. Obviously, a friend you can call at any time of the day with any types of problem or just to chit-chat is a strong tie, whilst the person you meet by the coffee maker at work is, or the water fountain, as is like the colloquial whatever, is a weak tie. And when you're searching for a job, it is really easy to rely on strong ties because, like, you know your uncle is going to try to get you a job, you know your best friend's going to try to get you a job, and that if there's any type of information on the job market that is of use to you, they will give it to you. But by doing this, you are absolutely missing out on the strength of weak ties. Mark Granovetter's research from 1973 shows us that 83% of professionals actually found their job through weak ties. You know, those acquaintances, those friends of friends, boyfriends of friends, those people you don't think will go on the line for you. But the thing is, like, why wouldn't they just tell you about a job? What's in it for them by hiding a job from you? And if you say, like, casually, like, I'm trying to find a position like this and this, if they find a position like that, casually meet you, maybe they'll be like, hey, didn't you say, like, I heard about this? More specifically, the strength of weak ties. The main thing about weak ties is that you have more of them. Obviously, you have a lot more weak ties or people that you just see, that you just chit-chat with, than like those strong emotional bonds. And more ties equals more leads. And this goes for both sides of the argument, like whether you're an employee and an employer. You have more people that you know than people you are close to. And by just chit-chatting with them, just like putting out feelers, the chance of information coming to you is just so much bigger because they have a larger network. And the other thing is that your strong ties are usually all within, or mostly within, the same group. I know for a fact that most of my friends are in the exact same friend group, and so you definitely tend to recycle information. Maybe there are people that you work with, maybe there are people in your class, maybe you're all from the same town. Either way, you have a very limited set of information. Oftentimes you get the same information just because you're in the same circles. But by having that one friend, that one acquaintance outside of that circle, just then you open yourself up to all the information they know from all the people they know. The more of the same people you know with someone, the less valuable information they're able to bring you because you already have a lot of that information. But if you know that one person from a completely different group, and all of a sudden, like, they have 20 strong ties that they have information from, so you just open yourself up to 20 more sources. And you know, success is a numbers game. For each piece of information that you get, the more likely it is that the next piece of information will be extremely valuable and helpful to you. And now for the strength of strong ties. I mention one of these, but like, there are two big things with strong ties. One is that you already have an established level of trust, and the other is that the person wants to help you. Your grandmother wants you to get the job you want. She really, really wants it. The person you meet at the post office, they don't really care. They can give you information, but they're not going to hunt down information for you or give you a reference or anything because they don't care. Your grandmother, she cares, and she will try to get information. She will use her ties. Your last employer and friend will give you a reference. You know, like, people will help you when you have that strong tie, that strong emotional intimacy. And for an employer, it is so important to find someone who will get the job done, who will do it effectively, who you have to train and coach and hang over your shoulder as little as possible, especially for an important role. And that is why trust is so important, especially for an employer when it comes to finding the right employee. So when you have a close friend, they will really recommend someone who knows that they will do a good job for you. Now, what kind of sucks a little about this is that this is also why power tends to stay on the top, because people get references from people who they know. And obviously, like, people in the top of society know people in top society, and they will recommend someone who they are close to, and it just stays up here. But it's not hard to understand why, because when you have a really, really important or critical role in your company, you're going to want someone you can trust. And if they are trusted by someone you trust, and there's already an established level of trust, and you know, like, okay, this person wouldn't let me down by just giving me like their incompetent nephew, hopefully. Like I said, for an employee and strong ties, that's where you can get a strong personal recommendation. Like someone you just barely know will obviously may obviously recommend a job to you, but someone who you have a strong tie will actually go out of line to recommend you to that employer for that job, and will get you a recommendation. And it is proven, for example, that an applicant to a job who already has a strong tie to one of the employees is ahead in the application process from like start to finish with the interview, everything. So if you have someone already working within a company, that is the reference that you want to use, because that is what will get you ahead the entire process and is likely to get you a job. The absolutely best position to be in the job market is obviously to have a strong tie to someone who also has a strong tie to the employer. And that is the best position for the employer as well, to have an applicant who has a strong tie to one of their strong ties because of the trust. That was our rundown of Mark Granovetter's Strength of Weak Ties, Strength of Strong Ties, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.